The idea of a Peugeot 504 revival feels like a bridge between eras, a respectful nod to a car that earned legendary status across continents while also embracing the expectations of modern drivers. The original 504 was never just a European sedan. It became a global workhorse, a family car, a rally legend, and in many places a symbol of durability that could survive heat, dust, poor roads, and heavy use without losing its character. A revived 504 would need to carry that reputation forward, not by copying the past line for line, but by translating its spirit into a contemporary package that feels honest, robust, and surprisingly refined. The design direction would likely mix classic proportions with modern surfaces, keeping the long hood, balanced stance, and simple elegance that made the old car instantly recognizable, while adding sharper lighting signatures, cleaner aerodynamics, and a more confident road presence. From the front, a modern interpretation would probably feature slim LED headlamps, a wider grille with the Peugeot emblem proudly centered, and a sculpted bumper that hints at strength rather than aggression. The side profile could keep the timeless three-box shape, with a subtle shoulder line and carefully shaped wheel arches that give it a planted look without going overboard. At the rear, clean horizontal lights, a tidy trunk lid, and a restrained bumper design would help maintain that understated elegance that the 504 was known for. The goal would not be to chase trends but to create something that feels mature and durable, a car that looks good today and will still look good a decade from now. Inside, the revival would need to balance nostalgia with modern expectations. The cabin would likely be spacious, with a focus on comfort and visibility, echoing the original car's reputation as an easy long-distance companion. Materials would be a mix of soft-touch surfaces, durable fabrics or leather options, and solid switchgear that feels built to last. The dashboard design could be clean and horizontal, with a digital instrument cluster and a central infotainment screen, but without overwhelming the driver with unnecessary complexity. Physical buttons for key functions like climate control and volume would make daily use easier and safer, especially for drivers who value practicality over gimmicks. Seating would be supportive yet comfortable, tuned more for long journeys than aggressive cornering, and rear seat space would be generous enough to make the car a true family vehicle again. On the technology side, a revived 504 would obviously need to meet modern standards. A responsive infotainment system with smartphone integration, navigation, and voice control would be expected, along with a good quality sound system for long drives. Driver assistance features would likely include adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, automatic emergency braking, and parking sensors or cameras, all working quietly in the background to improve safety without taking away the feeling of being in control. The original 504 earned trust through mechanical honesty, and the modern version would need to earn it through reliability, clear interfaces, and systems that feel supportive rather than intrusive. Under the hood, the revival could offer a range of powertrains depending on market needs. A modern turbocharged petrol engine would probably be the core option, offering a balance of performance and efficiency, while a diesel version could make sense in regions where long-distance driving and fuel economy still matter a lot. There could also be a hybrid option, combining a smaller engine with an electric motor to reduce fuel consumption and emissions while keeping everyday usability high. An all-electric version could even be part of the lineup, especially for markets pushing strongly toward electrification, though the character of the 504 has always been about range and endurance, so the electric version would need a solid real-world range and reliable charging capability to truly fit the name. In terms of performance, the revived 504 would not need to chase sports sedans, but it should feel confident and relaxed at highway speeds, with enough power for safe overtaking and loaded driving. Acceleration would likely be smooth rather than aggressive, and the transmission options could include a refined automatic as the main choice, with possibly a manual for enthusiasts in certain markets. The suspension setup would probably focus on comfort and stability, tuned to absorb rough roads while keeping the car composed in corners. This is where the spirit of the original really matters, because the 504 was famous for handling bad roads with grace, and a modern version should continue that tradition with a well-engineered chassis and durable components. Fuel efficiency would be a key selling point, especially for buyers who remember the 504 as a car that could go far on a tank and keep running with minimal fuss. Modern engine technology, better aerodynamics, and lighter materials would help achieve strong efficiency figures without sacrificing performance. Maintenance costs would also be an important consideration, because part of the 504 legend came from its ability to stay on the road for decades in challenging conditions. A revival that is too complex or expensive to maintain would miss the point, so the engineering approach would need to emphasize long-term reliability and ease of service alongside modern features. Safety would be another area where the revival would clearly surpass the original, simply because standards have changed so much. A strong body structure with multiple airbags, stability control, traction control, and advanced braking systems would be standard. The car would be designed to perform well in modern crash tests while still feeling solid and reassuring on the road. This combination of passive and active safety would make the revived 504 a trustworthy choice for families, commuters, and long-distance drivers alike. In daily use, the car would likely shine in its versatility. The trunk would be spacious enough for luggage, groceries, or work equipment, and the rear seats might fold to expand cargo space further. Ride comfort would make it suitable for long trips, while the manageable size would keep it easy to drive and park in cities. Noise insulation would be improved compared to older cars, making highway cruising quieter and more relaxed, and climate control would keep the cabin comfortable in a wide range of weather conditions. What would really make the Peugeot 504 revival special, though, is the emotional connection. For many people, the 504 is not just a car, it is a memory of family trips, hard work, or simply a time when cars were built with a certain honesty. A successful revival would respect that heritage without being trapped by it. It would offer a modern driving experience while still feeling like a dependable companion rather than a disposable gadget. The steering feel, the way the suspension deals with rough patches, and the general sense of solidity would all contribute to that impression. In the market, the revived 504 would probably position itself as a practical, comfortable, and durable sedan, or possibly even a wagon or crossover inspired by the original shape, aimed at buyers who value substance over flash. It would compete with other mid-size cars on price, features, and running costs, but its real advantage would be its story and the trust associated with the name. If priced sensibly and built with care, it could attract both nostalgic fans and new buyers looking for a reliable, no-nonsense car with a bit of character. In the end, a Peugeot 504 revival is not about recreating the past exactly as it was. It is about taking the values that made the original special, durability, comfort, simplicity, and global usability, and expressing them in a modern form. With thoughtful design, sensible technology, efficient engines, and a strong focus on real-world usability, such a car could once again become a familiar sight on roads around the world. It would be a reminder that a good car does not need to be the most extreme or the most futuristic to be loved. It just needs to be honest, capable, and built to serve its owners well for many years.